So what can I say about 2020 other than I think everybody would agree it's been a pretty crappy, crummy year with coronavirus and all the thing that our country has been through. But I have to say my 2020 hunting season turned into something pretty special, and I get to travel all over the country and hunt world-class animals, but I'm from right here in Northwest Pennsylvania, and there is nothing better to me than getting on a big buck right here where I grew up. And I was really fortunate this year that that happened once again. We've been blessed with having a piece of property now for about the last 9 years that we have painstakingly really worked on the habitat management. We plant a ton of food plots. We put a ton of work into this thing, and it has really paid dividends. We planted over 15 food plots, and just anything we can do to help hold the deer on the property, we try and do. And like I said, it has really paid off for us in a big way. Another thing that I have to mention before we get into the actual hunt and the story of this big buck is this hunt may have never happened without us implementing the new Moultrie cellular trail cams. Like I said before, we have this property and we have some really hard to get to places. And this plot we've had where I end up shooting this buck for years. I remember leaving a camera up there and not checking it for 4 or 5 months just because it was so hard to get to. Well, now with this cellular trail cam technology from Archery, I get these pictures sent right to my phone. And about 3-4 weeks before the start of hunting season, like clockwork, every night, I couldn't wait. I was like a little kid at Christmas. My phone would buzz and there would be pictures of this big buck. And he was there every single evening. And needless to say, that got me really, really excited. And lastly, before we get into the story of the buck this year, something we didn't realize when we were looking at the trail cam pictures and all that, we didn't realize until we actually were able to get this buck on the ground and looked at pictures from years past. I was super blessed 3 years ago to shoot a really big buck, 154-inch giant here in Northwest Pennsylvania, similar situation, actually about 500 yards from where we ended up shooting the buck here the past week. And he was a dandy, and once we looked at them side by side, there was no doubt that this buck here, this year, in one way, shape, or form is related to the buck I shot 3 years ago. Whether it's his dad, a brother, I have no idea, but all I can say is the genetics are strong. And that was just another piece of this story that makes this hunt so special for me. Monday, October 5th, the opening day of the PA archery season was on Saturday. And as you know, I've been getting a really good buck every single night in this plot. We're guessing pushing 150, which for Pennsylvania, that's a giant. And Saturday, the only day my daughter could hunt is Saturday, so I took her out, which was awesome. We had a great hunt. She almost got a really nice, was looking for her first buck, but it just didn't happen. But I'll be honest, my mind was thinking about this buck, and sure enough, he was there on Saturday. But today's Monday. It's gonna be the first day we get in after him. It's a kind of a unique situation. Kyle, my camera guy, is not gonna be able to go with me. He's dying. Tell him what you think, Kyle.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't filmed any bucks, I don't think, yet.
Yeah.
Here in PA, and I've been here for 3 years, and I wish I could be there, but it is what it is. So I have a good feeling about tonight. We'll see how it happens.
So I'm gonna be honest, I wish he was gonna be there because I'm gonna be doing a combination. I'm gonna do the best that I can. I'm gonna be using my cell phone. I'm gonna be using a GoPro. This is a unique stand. It's a tripod stand with a shooting rail. There's no trees that I can put a tree arm or anything on. So we got this clamp that we're just gonna put it on the shooting rail. And like I said, I'm gonna do the best that I can because this is a really, really big buck and we wanna bring it to you. And I wish Kyle was gonna be there. It would make my life a whole lot easier. But like I said, it is what it is. We'll do the best that we can.
Getting ready to get to the plot here. And I'll let you take a look at it real quick. But the deer have absolutely destroyed it. I mean, there's nothing left. But it makes a little horseshoe. Goes around to the other side. I'll take you in here and show you the stand. This was clover and oats that I planted in here, and Deer love it. Right up here on this tree is where I have my cell cam set up. Right there. Literally, that's where I've been getting him. And this here is the stand. Just a little tripod stand, and literally I've been getting that deer 12, 14 yards from the stand pretty much every night. So we're gonna climb up in, get the camera set up, but just wanted to show you what it all looked like. All right, I'm up in the stand. I'm gonna show you my setup now. Got just this nifty little clamp. We're gonna clamp down on this shooting rail on this tripod. Our options are really limited. There we go. It's actually pretty slick, but can't get away with much movement here, but it's gonna have to do. Man, we got deer everywhere. Okay, as you can see, I'm not in the stand. I'm back at the truck. And I didn't do a wrap-up interview. I apologize, but you ever have one of those nights? I can't say I was so angry, but I was so disappointed. I just didn't feel like talking. You saw, probably the last you saw was I had my cell phone and had deer coming in all around me. Well, it went south in a hurry. Got some deer in behind me. I don't know if some saw me, smelled me, whatever, but they went bananas, and there were deer blowing out all over the place. The bucks never did show up. And super disappointing. I went in there with really, really high hopes. You know, this is a big buck, and it just didn't work out. And unfortunately, you know, here in Pennsylvania, a lot of pressure. You don't get too many chances at a buck like that, so I'm really worried he's not going to come back in there. But all we're going to do now is we're gonna go back and hope, like, you know, we have a cellular trail cam up here. We're gonna let it do the work for us. Hopefully the Moultrie will pick him up, and maybe a day or two, maybe he'll settle down and start coming back in. You know, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope that he does, and we'll go and make a plan B. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of options there. You know, we have one stand, and there's no trees to put other stands. The deer come from all directions. So it wouldn't matter if you set up, you know, one place or the other. Just is what it is. But all we can do is hope that, like I said, he wasn't too boogered and he'll come back. But my hopes are, I'm kind of in the dumps right now. But that's hunting, and that's the way it goes. And like I said, if he doesn't show up there, maybe we find him later in the season. I don't know. But hopefully in a day or two, I'm back telling you we got him back in there again. But we'll see. Well, as you saw Monday night, we went in on the highest of highs because we're getting that really good buck every single night. And then we ended on the lowest of lows. It did not go the way that I wanted it to. I mean, we had a lot of deer in, and I got busted numerous times. And you know, I said to myself, I've been getting a little bit sloppy. You know, we do all the scent stuff with our scent lock and Oz, but you know, when you don't pay attention to your packs, you know, we're throwing them in the back of the truck, you know, all the stuff that's in our packs. So I literally washed all these, hand washed them. We're hanging them out on the line here. But I have some really, really good news. So Monday was the bad news, the lowest of lows. That buck was back in there Tuesday night. Wednesday, we're supposed to have high winds, 25, 30 miles per hour. So not planning on going Wednesday. It looks like Thursday is when we're going to be going back in after him. But when you have bucks like this patterned, you know, you have to take some chances, and it's just not an ideal stand because the deer come from everywhere. So we're going to do every single possible thing
that we can put to our advantage. And I tell that guys with scent control is, I don't believe there is any one thing, and I don't think there's anything that's foolproof. At the end of the day, always hunt the wind when you can. But when everybody knows the wind swirls, you have a lot of deer around, can you fool their nose just for a little bit? And that's going to be our goal. So I'm not taking any chances this time. We're watching everything and going to do everything that we possibly can to hopefully put it in our advantage this time. Okay, it is Thursday, October the 8th, and that buck, as you know, he came back in. He was in the plot the very next night. So we had high winds yesterday, but we just about perfect today. So as you can see, I am loading all my stuff. We got a little bit of a quad ride, and Monday I just kind of dressed and rode the quad up, but we're going to take everything and actually dress and spray down in the actual field instead of dressing and driving up in, and just try and do everything we can to put in our advantage of maybe sealing the deal on this guy. So we're going to load up here and get into the stand, and hopefully we get a break.
Okay, we're up in the stand. Beautiful night, little breezy, but little overcast, but just about perfect. I'm gonna get set up here, doing the same setup I did the other night. I got the camera set up like that. I'm hoping he comes out right here in front. That's the goal, is that he comes out right in front there and I'll be set up. But you can see behind me, you get deer all around you, so it is what it is. He's coming in. He's about 125 yards out. It's a nice buck. He's coming right in. self-filming, and I'm not very good at it. But I had to let him come out more. But I had two doing behind me, and they just saw me move, and they were getting ready to blow. Oh, that's a big buck. That's the one I was waiting for. I'm pretty sure I put a really good shot on him. Oh, he's a stud. Again, I don't know what kind of footage I got, and I wish I could have let him come out more for you. But like I said, bucks like that, you don't get a bunch of chances at. And the does behind me, they were getting ready to go. I'm sorry. That's a stud buck, and I hope I got some of them for you. If not, I guess I really don't care, because that was awesome. Man, I've been waiting for that buck. Holy crap. All right, so we went back and watched the footage on this. Of course, like I said, my self-filming jobs are a little bit suspect. I'm not very good at it. But so we couldn't see a lot. We know it's in the front part of the deer. A little concerned maybe it was a little high, but it was an angle, so I think we're going to be all right. So we've given him about 3 hours. So we're going to come back in here and see what blood we have, and hopefully we find good blood and can find him not too far away. So. I saw one drop. Yeah. Kyle, we got my buck right here, and he is a dandy, man. He went what? Maybe 100 yards? Well, I was sweating it though, so it wasn't my typical rage trail like we usually have, but we got on and found. Let's go put my hands on him. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's a dandy. That's the one I came after. He's good and stiff, man. He was a dead. That's perfect. Oh, yeah. I was second guessing myself. I was like, man, watching the footage, I didn't know for sure, but man, awesome. Big old tough buck. Oh, he's not my biggest one, but he's pretty darn close. In PA, he is a good buck. Man, I couldn't be more pleased. I'm tagged out in the first week of archery though. My poor family. I'm be dragging them out all the time. Good problems to have when the deer is too big for the quad. This is gonna be interesting getting them out of here, but that's all right, man. That's a good problem. How's that? Let's give it a whirl.